What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 11 Team Builder here in the NPBF. This week we are taking on Corey and the Driftveil Drilburs, and he has a very, very scary team, and I'm not looking forward to facing it at all. This is going to be a struggle. His team consists of Kartana, Gengar, Primarina, Rotom Heat, Hitmontop, Ribombee, Cacturne, Swoobat, and Alolan Raticate, as well as Mega Aerodactyl. I'm gonna have to double check this, but the way that it looks, it seems like he only has one Z user, and that is his Kartana. So, yeah. So, looking at the team overall, very, very fast. Kartana, Gengar, Swoobat, Arrow, Ribombee, all breaking and in some cases shattering. But, so many shattering that base 100 speed barrier. So definitely a wild team, to say the least. Very, very offensive team, though. But does still have the necessary bulk to be annoying to me. For example, Hitmontop with its Intimidate pretty much can shut down two of my most offensive Mons, which is extremely annoying. And actually, I'm gonna be revising my prep in the video shortly. But so far, I know one mon that I can definitely take out of the matchup, and I think will make things better, so I can beat that Hitmontop easier. Essentially, even just sweep him. That would be the plan. But we have Hitmontop obviously shuts down and kind of really puts a pressure on my two main sweeping mons, my two main wall breakers in Weavile and Mega Charizard, as well as being a big threat to some of our regular walls. We do have Florges, which could wall it, but at the same time he has things like the Kartana and whatnot, which put a lot of pressure and a big dampener on my day if he really wanted to. But first things first, we're gonna do our very best for this game. I think we can still pull out a win with some of our new mons, and in fact, by the time this prep is done, we will have brought all of our new mons. So that's pretty cool. But the first mon we are bringing is Ron Weasley, our Weavile. Expert Belt this week, Knock Off Ice Shard, Poison Jab, and Power Up Punch. So the reason I'm running Power Punch is mainly just because of the Alolan Raticate. If they'd just taken any chip damage at all, a Power Punch actually does knock it out. So then I can have a +1 Weavile going in against anything else on his team. That's just if he brings the Raticate. I fully expect if I were to predict his team, it's probably going to be the top 5: Kartana, Gengar, Primarina, Rotom Heat, and Hitmontop, and then more than likely Mega Arrow, if anything. But that's just my personal prediction right now. Hopefully I'm right. If I'm right, great. If I'm not, well, it's fine. It's whatever. But we're running enough speed on this Weavile to outpace a Ribombee. If he does bring it, we can then hit it with a super effective Poison Jab. As long as we can break that thing's sash, this will be extremely useful. We have knockoff just for getting rid of items on things, getting rid of whatever the Hitmontop wants to hold on to whenever it switches in, because Hitmontop is to switch into this thing 10,000 times a day, and if he doesn't bring the Hitmontop, then he's made a very, very clear mistake in his prep, for sure. That's without a doubt. Knockoff will also just tear through things like the Swoobat very, very easily, and the Gengar, which is very lovely. I would love to kill those things. Ice Shard is literally the reason I'm bringing Ice Shard over like Ice Skull Crash for my Ice Stab this week is just because of Mega Arrow. If it's kind of getting late game and I feel like Mega Arrow's a bit of a threat, or if I know I have something that can take care of it and Weavile's already done its job, I'm going to click Ice Shard on the Mega Arrow just so I can get as much damage on that thing as possible. I think it does like a little over 50-something%, which is really, really nice. So I could even potentially kill it depending on what kind of damage he's taken prior. But I think that like having the Ice Shard is very important because of the Mega Arrow. So that's something that we'll see what happens. But I think that will be important. I think that could be relevant in the matchup. But yeah, just nice 4 attacks, offensive set. I think that would be the best for this week, and we'll see how it goes. Next up, we're bringing Natsu, our Mega Charizard X, Dragon Dance, Fire Punch, Dragon Claw, and Thunder Punch. We're running Adamant Nature this week, max attack, max speed. The max speed is to allow us to outpace the Rotom Heat, so that once we get our Dragon Dance up, even if it's a Scarf Rotom Heat, we will still outspeed it. But then again, if he's a Scarfed, anything that's above that, Scarf Gengar, Scarf Kartana, well, Kartana can't really touch us. If he is a Scarfed Ribombee, if he is a Scarfed Swoobat, he will be able to still outspeed us, so that's something very important to note. But this thing has the potential to sweep if I can get a Dragon Dance or 2 up. Fire Punch will tear through most things. I brought Fire Punch over Flare Blitz because I didn't want to be taking the constant recoil, and I felt that Fire Punch was... I didn't really need anything more powerful than Fire Punch to break through his team, because a lot of his mons are very frail, and the ones that like take the Fire Punch well, like the Hitmontop, the Primarina, the Rotom Heat, etc., like I can hit with other moves very effectively. I need to get up with these 2 Dragon Dances to deal with the Hitmontop, but at the same time, my prep change that I'm going to make in a minute completely shuts down the Hitmontop entirely. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Hitmontop loses, so... But, Charizard can, then use Dragon Claw to kill anything that resists it that's not the Primarina, and then we have the Thunder Punch for the Primarina, essentially. So, this thing, like, if it gets up a Dragon Dance or 2, can pretty much just clean up the game, which would be really, really nice for the MVP rankings, because Charizard is right near the top, so any good week we can have is something I'm down for all the time. Next up, making his debut for the Primarinas here in the NPBF is Discount the Silvally. We're bringing a Silvally Grass this week. Parting Shot, Flamethrower, Multi-Attack, and Defog. Defog I find important because he does have the Ribombee to set up Sticky Webs. If he does bring that, he has the Cacturn, which can set up Spikes. He has Mega Arrow, which can set rocks. You know, a couple different options for hazards, so I'd like to be able to take care of those. Specifically, just the webs, though. The webs are the most threatening, if anything, because of the simple fact that I just don't want to deal with webs. Like, webs are a pain in the ass for my team, 100%, so I'm going to try to avoid that. We're bringing enough speed to outpace the Rotom Heat, so we can Parting Shot out on it if it's not Scarfed. We just threw the rest into HP and defense so that this thing can be a solid switch into Kartana. Outside of a potential Flying EMZ, Supersonic Sky Strike, or maybe even a Buggy EMZ from X-Scissor or something like that, this thing can pretty much wall Kartana off pretty well, and the Flamethrower will just knock it out straight away. No real issue. That's why I'm a Jolly Nature, because we don't need to be anything else for the flamethrower to kill the Kartana. Like, because the only other thing on his team, well, the only other things on his team that are weak to fire are Rabombi and Cacturn, and one of which typically runs Dry Skin, the other of which is a Rabombi. So Flamethrower will still do a massive lot to those. We do have the multi-attack, so that we have a nice stab attack to hit things like the Primarina with super effectively, and I think that could be nice to do. But more or less, we're more likely going to be clicking Parting Shot like almost every time Silvally hits the field unless webs go up. So that's the plan with Silvally. Silvally's just here to wall out their Kartana, which is really nice. So next up, we have Irate the Rotom Wash. This is like a backup plan as well to beat the Kartana. Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump, and HP Fire. Mainly a physically defensive set. We threw 4 into speed, just in case of a min-speed Rotom Heat, so that we can outspeed that as well. So we have that going for us. Volt Switch is pretty free in this game. He has no ground type, so it's very free to just click Volt Switch any turn we want to. Will-O-Wisp is really nice for burning things like the potential Kartana. Hitmontop getting a burn would be nice. Burning the Cacturn would be glorious. Burning the Mega Arrow would be absolutely fantastic. Hydro Pump is important for breaking things like the Mega Arrow, breaking through things like the Rotom Heat, and just really applying potential pressure. And then the HP Fire is there because if Kartana comes in on this thing, and I'm feeling frisky, obviously I'm just going to go straight for the HP Fire. If he Swords Dances thinking he's safe, I will be able to just knock him out. If he goes for the Leaf Blade right away, I will eat it up with my Rindo Berry, even if he crits me. And I will be able to kill him with the HP Fire anyway. So no matter what, if Kartana comes in on Rotom, we are clicking HP Fire every single time. There's no instance where we don't. So, like, it's... Then Kartana, the biggest fucking threat to the entire team, is gone. And so that's pretty cool. The next mod we're going to be bringing, and the last mod that is guaranteed on this team, is going to be Solid Sneck the Steelix. Realistically, when I got to this part in the team build, I was really struggling, like, really hardcore struggling with what I wanted to bring to this matchup. Because, like, I was just looking, like, there's a lot of things on my team that became no-goes. Like, Kartana, basically no-goes Florges. Roserade just doesn't have the best matchup just because of its speed tier. So Florges was a no. Roserade again, its speed tier is just kind of shit for this matchup, and just like it doesn't pair up really well. And there's things like the Swoobat and Mega Arrow that just completely like nope it out of existence. Dusknoir again, like things like with Gengar running around, like that's just too much, man. Like it's way too much pressure, as well as like things like the Cacturn and Raticate as well, putting in a lot of pressure on Dusknoir. Licky Licky is actually, I will spoil it, was the last mon that we were going to be bringing, but again, I feel like we can do better than that. And then Steelix, and then I'll get to the other mon on our team that we'll be bringing in replacement of Licky Licky in a minute. But Steelix here is coming because it can eat a hit from Kartana like it's nothing. Being specially defensive, it can take a decent amount of hit. It can take a hit. It can wall out Rabombi, a hard wall Rabombi entirely. Can pretty much wall Cacturn. Can pretty much wall Swoobat outside of Heat Wave, which I'm sure he would bring, but we can also just immediately kill it with like a heavy slam or whatnot. This thing can swallow hits from the Mega Aerodactyl pretty easily. just overall, it's like a solid wall to have on the team. But literally, we're bringing it so that we can set up Stealth Rocks. Because looking at his team, like, he has very good hazard removal, but regardless, having rocks available is definitely a potential upside for the game, and I think could be very, very useful for us going forward. So I'm going to really try to get up my Stealth Rocks for this game. I think that it's very important. We have Toxic to catch anything that might want to switch into this mon and really, really whittle it down. Heavy Slam for stab, and just to really hit hard on a lot of Pokemon on his team. Excuse me. Things like the Primarina, Gengar, Ribombee, none of them really appreciate a Heavy Slam at all. Even the Mega Arrow takes a large chunk of damage because Steelix is such a big boy. And then we have Fire Fang, literally just for Kartana. I don't know what those chicken fingers did to me, man. It made me real gassy. But the last one originally was going to be Tongue Game or Licky Licky. We were just bringing a nice mixed defensive set with really no purpose to it whatsoever. But we're going to go ahead and mix things up a little bit, and we're going to drop him. And we're bringing everybody that we just picked up and bringing Gothitelle, my aesthetic. Because, realistically, if he brings the Hitmontop, which he'd be stupid not to, that's my setup fodder. So we're going to go 248 HP. HP. We're going to invest speed investment to outpace him. Is there anything else we can just like freely outpace with some speed investment? Then I feel like we actually like need to outpace, because like outpacing Hitmontop is important so we can do what I plan on doing to him. But yeah, there's nothing else we can really outpace that I feel is necessary. Yeah, there's nothing. So how fast is Alolan Raticate? I think it's like what, base 75? 77, yeah. So obviously we can outpace that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have Substitute, Calm Mind, Rest, Sub-Calm Mind, Psyshock, and HP Fighting. Yeah, this is fine, because the way we can do this is we're going to run the leftovers, obviously. We get behind a Substitute, right? We get behind a Substitute on the Hitmontop. We come in on the Hitmontop, we trap it. We get behind a Sub because we outspeed it. And it can't Toxic us. And then we can just set up Calm Minds to +6. And make sure that we're behind a Sub at all times. And that's GG. Because we're going to put all of this into physical defense. Straight up bold. So that even if he does break our Substitute, we're still going to be able to take a hit. A hit very nice. We're going to still be able to take hits really nicely, and we'll already be at +6. So That's the plan, and we'll have the HP fighting because we have to have something that can hit the dark types, being the Cacturn and the Raticate, and Raticate will get OHKO'd by HP fighting. So yeah, that's going to be really, really cool, and I'm glad I get a chance to use Gothitelle to its fullest potential already. So that's going to be it for this team builder, though. Hopefully the battle will be going up either tomorrow or later today, depending on when I decide to upload it after it's been done. But thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace!